What you're about to watch is a video that Elon Musk shared on his timeline on X. Now, I feel like this is one of those videos that America needs to see before they go to the voting polls. And I quote from Elon, just listen to what she says and how she says it.
Dear Kamala Harris, let's get one thing crystal clear. The vast majority of American men have no issue with electing a female president. Our issue lies solely with you. You were second in charge of California for 13 years.
As California's Attorney General, Harris promoted enforcement of a law that allowed prosecutors to seek jail time for parents of truant kids.
As a prosecutor and law enforcement, I have a huge stick. So I decided I was going to start prosecuting parents for truancy.
I thought that was crazy. I was like, how can you lock parents up?
If you don't go to school, Kamala's going to put you and me in jail. Yes, we achieved intended effect.
I opened the door and I see at least 7 or 8 cops like wanted to arrest me. As a matter of fact, they did.
And frankly, you know the prosecutors in my office who volunteered to do this? My homicide prosecutors, my gang prosecutors. And they went over there and I said, when you go over there, look really mean.
She had me arrested and prosecuted because my handicapped daughter was sick in the hospital and had missed some days of school.
I learned that with the swipe of my pen, I could charge someone with the lowest level offense. That person could be arrested, they could lose time from work, and their family maybe lose their job. They'd have to come out of their own pocket to help hire a lawyer. They'd lose standing in their community.
I lost my job and couldn't pay rent, and we got evicted.
Weeks later, I could dismiss the charges, but their life would forever be changed.
I became homeless. We had to move into a motel.
All because of the swipe of my pen.
I don't agree what Kamala Harris did to my mom, and I don't agree with what she's done to other parents as well.
You were second in charge of the United States for 4 years.
If anything, would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact.
Inflation is hitting the highest level in 39 years.
A record high number of illegal crossings.
Crime's been surging across the nation.
Huge spikes in homicides.
Could we be heading toward World War III?
After 17 years of failed leadership, you are now asking us to trust you as first in charge of our country.
I am concerned and focused on big issues. Elementary and middle school truancy is actually a big issue. If we're trying to save the state money. Because of truancy, California public schools lose $1.4 billion a year in funding. I want money.
My message to all Americans, do not trust Kamala Harris.
As men and protectors of women and children, you are simply a risk we are not willing to take.
Paid for by Maha Alliance and not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
Kamala Harris, man. Shout out to Elon Musk for sharing that video. I think that it literally hit every topic like right on the nail for her. And every American needs to view this and actually realize what we're up against. Oh, what's wrong with my doggy? What's wrong? You sound sad, my bad. Anyhow, yeah, I know Kamala is running. I feel you. She a little sad about that too. Her mom just left outside, so she a little, anyhow. Kamala, back to her. Yeah, she's a shapeshifter. She's somebody who literally turns into her environment. Her accent switches when it's convenient. Her heritage switches when it's convenient. Her narratives, the policy switches when Trump's policy seems more efficient and proficient. So yeah, she's somebody whom I personally cannot trust. Let me read a few of these comments for y'all real quick though. I see a lot of people comparing her to Hitler, and I'm gonna show y'all why in a minute. It says Kamala is really cruel. They saying she's evil, a useless puppet. Kamala's ISIS. How cruel Kamala is described. Okay, that's really what it said. I promise I ain't even messed that one up. Let's keep going. Yeah, she is. The office of Kamala wrongfully convicted Jamal True Love on a 50 years to life. It says, after years of appeals, he was vindicated. Kamala sat behind him, smiling and laughing during conviction. Many more out there just like him. That's not okay. Now, since she's been receiving all of this backlash, she's turned into a preacher. I mean, everything about her, I think, is, well, policy-wise and all that. No, forget that. It's ungodly. But, you know, here she goes trying to imitate God.
Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. The path may seem hard, the work may seem heavy, but joy cometh in the morning, and church morning is on its way.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Sometimes I be looking at this like, it can't be real. This honestly can't be life. Y'all seeing it right there in front. Preacher accent and all this, man. It's annoying, yo. It makes me wonder, like, do y'all not see through this? Oh my God. It says Kamala apparently has not watched his speech. MLK talked of not seeing color of skin. Amen to that. I wonder what happened. I think everybody missed that part when it comes to black people. When we trying to evolve and things of that nature. I keep wondering why they continuously try to segregate, while we're trying to segregate ourselves politically as well. You got Obama out here talking about black men. You need to vote for black. I don't understand that. When we know that MLK fought for everybody to have the opportunity to, you know, congregate together and make these decisions together, and not, you know, segregate. I don't get it. I don't understand it. It don't make any sense to me, people. Yeah, I'm scrolling down this hard. Oh, you know what? Speaking of Martin Luther King, somebody actually put his face on her. Look at this.
Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. The path may seem hard, the work may seem heavy, but joy.
I will never understand. It doesn't make sense. Now, I know she did this whole medical exam and all this other stuff, but Trump is calling for her to take a cognitive test. Look at how she replies to that.
Donald Trump was on Joe Rogan, and he called you, Madam Vice President, a very low IQ person, and said, I think she needs to take a cognitive test. I think Kamala should have a test because there's something missing. There's something wrong with her.
I love the internet. I'm telling y'all, it makes it so much more worthwhile dealing with all this chaos and BS, if I'm being honest, because I wake up frustrated. We got to talk about how, in another video, I'm going to talk about how the Democrats are so dramatic to now compare Trump and Trump supporters to KKK. They side by side put, you know, Trump rally next to KKK, but that's going to be another video. Right now, I'm going to continue to show you this whole shape-shifting. Now, I told you that, you know, Kamala shape-shifts, and she also switches her policies according to which policies Trump, you know, present that seems more proficient. Now, he went to the barbershop the other day, right? I ain't even finna say more. Just roll the clip.
Vice President, thank you so much for coming and being with us to have this conversation inside the barbershop.
Indeed, that's where all the truth gets spoken. That's where the news gets shared.
And you know, like this, we kind of breaking the code. We got you in the barbershop, you know. It's a little private, but
not my first time.
Okay, I'm just saying, we got you in here today.
Bro, there were a lot of codes broken. I mean, many. I mean, whew, we can go down the list. Oh my gosh. What is this? Wow. Okay, so this is, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I don't even care. I'm gonna do it. So, Dana White. He just blew the lid off Democrats. Obama's playbook strategy is actually finna go to this quote I see right here. She, Kamala it is, talks a lot about the need for change and her hope for the future. Hope and change. Doesn't that sound familiar? Quote, she can use an old playbook, but she's not Obama. And she is no agent. I'm sorry, I lost my place right there. She is not Obama, and she is no agent of change. I'll let him go ahead and finish the rest, y'all.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are 9 days away from the most important election of my lifetime. Stakes have never been higher, and the choice has never been clearer. President Trump and I have been friends for 25 years. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. He is the most resilient, hardest working human being that I've ever met in my life. I know he's a great leader. This is not my opinion, not my hope. He's proven he can build the strongest economy in American history. He's proven he can secure our borders and keep our nation safe. He's proven to be the strong leader allies and adversaries alike must respect. He's proven he loves this country so much, he's literally put his life on the line for it. What has the other candidate proven? She can get your party's nomination without even facing voters. What else? What else can she offer the American people other than vague promises and no plan? She talks a lot about the need for change and her hope for the future. Hope and change. Does that sound familiar? She can use the old Obama playbook, but she's not Obama, and she is no agent of change. She is the sitting vice president of the United States right now. What she hopes is voters will focus on the future because she doesn't want us looking at the last 4 years to see what we really need to change. We need change from sky-high inflation. According to Yahoo Finance, the cost of groceries is up over 25% during the Biden-Harris administration. Food is unaffordable for most Americans. That has to change. We need change from wide-open borders. BBC News reports illegal immigration reached record levels since they took office, with an estimated 10 million border crossings. That's a 300% increase compared to the Trump administration, and that's not including the unknown millions who cross undetected. That is the record of the other candidate, the border czar of the Biden administration. We need change from weak foreign policy. According to the Institute for Economics and Peace, a nonpartisan think tank, think about this, there are more active armed conflicts now than any time since World War II. Weakness from the Biden-Harris administration has invited aggression and conflicts around the globe. When President Trump was our commander-in-chief, the world was a much more peaceful place. J.D. Vance touched on this, but I want to hit it again. Vice President Harris was asked recently by the objective journalists of The View if there's anything she would have done differently than Biden over the past 4 years. And again, her answer was, there is not a thing that comes to mind. So, don't take my word for it, take hers. She will not change a thing. Hope is nice, but hope is not a plan. Change is needed, but change won't come from the status quo. And she is the status quo. If you want real change, you'll vote for proven leadership. If you want to return to economic prosperity, border security, and global stability, you'll vote for the one candidate who's proven he can deliver all of that. My fellow Americans, if you want what's best for your family and this country, you're going to vote Donald J. Trump as the 47th president of the United States. Thank you, New York. Have a good night.
I honestly don't think there's anything more for me to say. I think Dana White just took this whole thing away. But I do see this comment that I want to leave y'all with. Kamala Harris represents the same level of thinking that has created America's problems over the last 4 years.